Hello, welcome to Lacewing Lane. My name is Shari, and today it is a windy day again in West Texas. Today I am getting all of my seed starting soil ready to plant tomorrow. Garage with grow lights and all of that, they're just going to go straight into the ground. So what I have decided to do, I have all of my components of my seed starting mix here. I'm going to use perlite, cotton burr compost, and coco coir. I would love to do just the coco coir and wool pellets like I've seen on Blossom and Branch, but I don't have access to a lot of wool. So what I'm going to do instead is use cotton burr compost. It does have a lot of big chunks in it that I'm going to have to pick out, which is going to be a little bit time consuming, but I think that that will work as well. I do have a sample of the wool pellets that I'm going to try and see how it compares to the cotton burr before I make my final decision. So that's coming up. Also, the coco coir I ordered comes in these big bricks. I need to get that soaking. It says to use warm water. I don't have warm water out here right now, so I am just going to use water from my storage tank that has been in the sun. So hopefully it'll be warm enough. I ordered these online, Cocoa Bliss, and it came with 10 packs, and you're just supposed to put it in warm water for 30 to 40 minutes, and then it breaks apart in your hands. So I'm going to use that. I am going to go ahead and use the perlite, and maybe that'll offset the chunkiness of the cotton burr. I'm going to mix all this up, and then I'm going to lay it across my bed. All the seeds that I have to plant only go an inch or 1/4 of an inch or even an 1/8 of an inch. So just putting that across the top will give them a head start. So that's what we're going to do next. That is my little water storage tank that Tony got for me. I ran a hose to it across the top of the beds and over here to my coco coir, and it's already filling up, and goodness, it's already falling apart. I'm not sure how much it needs, but it's already getting kind of full. I'm so happy that my water hose system is working out. I feel like I should stop and see. Goodness gracious, I probably should not have added all the bricks. I'm going to stop and see if I can take some of the bricks out. That is expanding. You know what? I'm just going to let this bucket fill up and let it expand. It looks like those fireworks, the snakes that just grow and grow. That is pretty cool. I'm just going to let this fill up, and I have several of these red tubs, and I will just disperse it and fill up as many tubs as I can. I found 2 tubs of char wood today that I had forgotten that I had. I have a big pile of wood chips over there, not a huge pile, but enough to do on top for top dressing. I think I'm just going to fill it up to the top of these bricks and then see what happens. Anyway, I have several beds to use for seed starting, so it won't hurt my feelings if I have a massive amount of this stuff already pre-mixed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go turn this off and see where we are. The coco coir is over here expanding. While I have the water on, I decided to go ahead and do the test of the wood pellets. I think it has a zip top. This is what it looks like. It's really soft. It doesn't smell too bad to me. I actually kind of like the smell. I'm just going to pour that in there. Let's see what it says. Our 1 ingredient wool pellet fertilizer will provide nutrition for your plants for the whole growing season. Wool pellets hold 20 times their weight in water, while still maintaining oxygen space for your roots. Reducing your watering by 25%. Wool pellets help keep your plants beautiful. Directions: 15 square foot. Mix half a cup of wool pellets to 1 gallon of soil, or sprinkle around existing plants and push or work into soil. So it has all of the, like, the total nitrogen and all of that stuff in there. I am not going to follow that. I'm just going to mix it in. I will try to mix it in appropriately, but I don't know. We'll see. For right now, though, I'm just going to go ahead and add the water. And I'm just going to cover it. Okay, that's about twice the amount of water as pellets. That should give it enough space. It's already starting to loosen up. Anyway, that should give it enough water to absorb. Ooh, that feels good. Yeah, it's already falling apart. So it said 30 minutes. I'll give that time to soak in. Over here on the coco coir, look at that. It just falls right apart. Let's see if I can pinch the holes off of my foot while I try to zoom in and show this to you guys. This feels really nice. So this mixed with the cotton burr and the perlite should give the plants a healthy start. I do believe it's going to need more water, but I'm going to sort it out and then we'll show everything to you. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this little tool that I have, and I'm going to start putting the broken down coco coir over into this container as soon as I get the spider out. There we go. Hold on. Spider, be free. Go eat some bugs. Okay. Making sure there's not any more in there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put the broke down stuff over here. I should have garden gloves on. They're over there. As much as I would love just to go ahead and do it, my hands need help. I've been working too hard on getting my hands in good shape. Plus I have a sore thumb, so I lost a nail doing tile work, tearing up the tile out of the house. So I gotta baby it. Can't believe how fast it just came apart. I wish I could just plant in that. All dirt should feel like this. It's wonderful. I don't remember how much it was. I'll see if I can look up how much I paid for it. Now see, this one doesn't have enough water. I'm gonna set it aside. Yeah, so you obviously could just do one brick at a time as you needed it, but I have 5 beds ready to go and 4 more almost ready to go. I'm excited about this. It's great. Like, I didn't expect it to be that awesome. This is really good. That's one brick. This is going to take a little while. I'm going to sort it out and check back with you in a minute. This is kind of wet because it was at the bottom, but it's still very fine. So this was about to that rim, and now it's to the top of this rim, so it tripled its size. The wool pellets, let's see how they're doing. They're very wet, so would have to squeeze some of that water out. I think what I'm going to do next is see how the cotton burr compares when it's this wet. So let's do that. Got another bucket here. The cotton burr. That's about the same amount. Let's add some water to it. And see what happens. I've used the cotton burr in all of my soil on the entire property. Grass, garden beds, everything. But I haven't just put it in a bucket to see what happens to it. Now this is mulch or compost, so it's made from the remains of cotton plants, so it does have some sticks and twigs in it, which will break down over time. Makes it a slow release fertilizer, but it is a lot more chunky than the wool pellets. I will say though, where's a piece of cotton? Here's a piece of cotton. The cotton itself is about the same texture as the wool. This just seems like it's going to be too chunky for seedlings to get through. Maybe I'll just do the coco coir and perlite with the sample of wool that I have. I do also have earthworm castings and vermiculite. I could add that to the mix. It says non-burning. These are for my garden beds. I'm going to do vegetables and flowers and my guild. Alright, I'm going to think about it a minute and we'll see. I looked it up, and what I found out is it's a DIY mixture to use the coco coir and the perlite together with worm castings to make your own seed starting soil. I have all that. What I did is I looked up how much it cost for each thing. I know the vermiculite, not the vermiculite, the perlite I got for $40, and the coco coir I got on Amazon for $37. So it's about the same price and about the same amount. Each different one has different pros and cons, but they kind of do the same thing. The coco coir has better water retention. It expands more, but the perlite holds it longer. The coco coir has more nutrients, magnesium, phosphorus, that kind of stuff. And the perlite regulates the pH balance or lowers the pH balance. And then the worm castings add to the mix because the perlite doesn't have much fertilizer and the worm castings does. So all of those mixed together works out really well for a good seed starting mix. Now granted, I only have a very small amount of worm castings, but I'm also going to add in the very small amount of wool that I have, and all that together I think will be just fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down underneath in little rows where I am planting my seeds so that they'll have all of that good stuff. to live in, the very fine stuff to live in and grow in without having to fight with compacted soil or the thicker, chunkier stuff that's in the dirt. On my beds themselves, as if you've watched my other videos, I have put mixes of all kinds of stuff, coffee grounds and the cotton burr and new topsoil, wood chips and the finer wood chips and all kinds of the good things, and all of that is already in the bed ready to go. So this is just for the top layer to put the little baby seeds in themselves, since I'm direct sowing. So I'm going to mix those together real quick and we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to start out with just scoops. Half a scoop. This is vermiculite. Half a scoop. Maybe a handful. So that's a full scoop of the coco coir, a full scoop of the perlite, half a scoop of vermiculite, half a scoop of worm castings, and a handful of the wool pellets. And that is what it comes out to look like. I'm going to use that same recipe throughout and see how far I can get it before I run out of materials. 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, half, 1, half, I can tell I'm going to run out of this stuff pretty fast, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this in, and then I'm going to add some more of these two. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, Okay, so that got the container up to about here. That is more than enough to start the seeds for several beds. I'm going to go ahead and leave those two. I like the combination of the worm castings with it and the wool, which I'm probably not going to get more wool, but unless I find a good cheap source for it. But I am going to go ahead and get some more worm castings before I mix in the rest of it. I'm going to cover up the coco coir that's left with a burlap sack to keep it all safe in there until I'm ready to use it. So it's ready to go for tomorrow's seed planting. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time on Lacewing Lane. My final recipe ended up being 4 scoops of coco coir, 4 scoops of perlite, 1 scoop of vermiculite, 1 scoop of earth castings, and a handful of wool pellets. I like that recipe because it does not have peat moss, which is a natural resource that we've been depleting. I went to Lowe's this morning and got more earthworm castings. All of those ingredients combined with what I already have should give me 8 cubic feet of seed starting mix, which is more than enough to last us all summer for me and my mom. And we came out about $10 a head, which is good. And now it's time to start planting.